My name is Emma Lewis, and 3 years ago, I thought I had the perfect life. A loving husband, a cozy home in Austin, and a future full of promise. But sometimes, life teaches its hardest lessons through the people you never expect, like the woman who was supposed to be my second mother. Her name was Diane, my mother-in-law. From the very beginning, she made sure I knew I didn't belong. She'd smile at me in front of others, but behind closed doors, her words cut deeper than knives. "Mark could have done better," she once said, casually, while setting the dinner table. "You're too soft, Emma. Life isn't kind to people who cry too easily." I laughed it off at first, but deep down, it hurt, because she was right about one thing. I was soft. I felt everything too deeply. A year later, I got pregnant. Mark and I were overjoyed. It felt like a new chapter was beginning. I was already picking names, folding baby clothes, painting the nursery. But then, one night, I woke up in pain so sharp it stole my breath. By morning, the hospital room was silent, and the nurse's eyes said what her lips didn't need to. I had lost the baby. When I got home, I expected comfort, maybe even from Diane. But instead, she looked at me, sighed, and said, "You're young, Emma. Don't make a tragedy out of something common. Women go through this all the time." And when my tears started to fall, she laughed. Just a short, bitter laugh, but it was enough to shatter me. I locked myself in my room and cried until there was nothing left. That day, something inside me changed forever. Months passed. Mark grew distant. Our marriage cracked under the weight of things we never said. Eventually, he left. And with him, so did Diane. I rebuilt myself from the ground up. I focused on my nursing career, worked night shifts, saved money, and finally bought a small but peaceful house on the outskirts of town. For the first time in years, my heart was quiet, until one rainy evening the doorbell rang. When I opened the door, there she was, Diane. But not the same woman I once knew. Her eyes were swollen, her hair unkempt, her hands shaking as she clutched a worn purse. She whispered, "Emma, please. I don't have anywhere else to go." She told me Mark had moved across the country and stopped calling. Her savings were gone. She was sick, in debt, and alone. For a long moment, I just stood there, the storm raging behind her, my heartbeat pounding in my ears. The part of me that still remembered her laughter wanted to close the door, but the part of me that had learned compassion couldn't. I stepped aside. "You can stay here," I said quietly. That night, I made her soup, laid out fresh sheets, and watched as she cried herself to sleep. In my house. The next morning, she sat at my kitchen table, her voice trembling. "Emma, I don't deserve your kindness. I was cruel to you. I can't forgive myself." I looked at her. Really looked at her. This wasn't the proud, dismissive woman who once laughed at my pain. This was someone who had been broken by life, just like I once was. So I said softly, "You don't have to forgive yourself right now. Just start by respecting the pain of others." She nodded, tears spilling down her face. And then, for the first time, she whispered, "I'm sorry for laughing when you cried." Now, every evening, when I hear her quietly sobbing in the guest room, I don't feel anger anymore. I feel peace. Because forgiveness isn't about letting someone off the hook. It's about freeing yourself from the chains of their cruelty. Diane once laughed at my tears. Now, she cries in my house, not because I wanted revenge, but because I learned that grace can be the greatest justice of all.